Hello everybody, welcome into the kitchen here at Clean Valley Farms yet again. Well, today I'm making the first in probably several videos on the JT versus Breadmaker series. We have a Sunbeam bread machine and we have decided to, well, torture it a little bit and see if we can have a little fun. Tonight I am trying to make bacon and onion bread using their basic Here Try Me recipe and adding the things that I feel are appropriate. We'll see how that works out. So here is basically everything I'm going to need. Mess on the table is kind of bonus. But just about got everything measured out here. Some sugar, some powdered milk, but that's what it calls for. A little bit of salt. Got my onion, got my bacon, 3 cups of flour, and of course, the bread machine in question. Now the recipe here is pretty straightforward. The only thing it really harps on is wet ingredients, dry ingredients, and then the yeast goes in a little well in the dry ingredients. So, pretty straightforward. I'm going to maybe ask Shocks to do a little camera work for me so we can get started on throwing things into the bread maker. And then it's 3 hours of waiting that you guys get to just like skip through and watch me see if this worked or if it failed miserably. So, starting with our wet ingredients first, it calls for not just a cup of water, but a cup and 2 tablespoons. Into that we add our 1 tablespoon of butter or margarine. We're using butter here. Want to try some of this with maybe some of that homemade garlic butter or some other spicy butter. We'll see. Need to get the rest of that off of there now. So this thing is very specific about adding moist ingredients first. So I'm going to put my onions in there because they're wet. You ever cut up an onion, you know that. And I'm going to throw the chopped up bacon in there as well. Sure hope this works. That's the last of the bacon. Then next, what do we have here? Add in the sugar, the milk powder, the salt, and the flour. So, sugar, milk powder, salt, and 3 cups of flour. Alright. Now I need to make a little well in the middle of that. Actually a pretty sizable well based on what I tried last time. To put in our 2.5 teaspoons of yeast. Now they are very specific here. Make sure the yeast does not come into contact with any of the moisture before things get going. So 2.5 teaspoons of yeast later. Terrible camera angle. Terrible camera angle here. Pretty sure that's 5. Shouldn't have been talking to the camera. And that is basically that. Close the lid on this, plug it in, and listen to it scream. Says I need to press the menu button here until basic is selected, but I've got a 1 up here, so basic already is selected. Press the color button, where is that? That's here, until it's at medium, which is what we chose, so we're good to go there. The loaf button needs to be set to 1.5 pounds for this particular loaf. Takes it down to a 2 hour and 53 minute bake time. And press the start button. So we'll check on this at a few different points and hopefully enjoy some great bacon and onion bread when it's all said and done. Just a quick shot of the initial mixing going on there. Then it's going to need to rise and knead it and rise and pound it, and we'll check back on it. So here we are at about half an hour in. It's doing the second mix. It kind of looks like I see bacon all the way through that. That's promising. That's promising. So we've got about 10 minutes left before this is going to start to bake. And definitely looks to me like the bacon is evenly through there. I hope the onions are as well. But, oh look, there's a shot of the camera. Hi, camera. Anyway, we will carry on and get back to it in a minute. Here's a quick look at it. It's been baking for about 15, check that, 20 minutes. Looking pretty good. Looks like things are evenly distributed in there, so I shouldn't have a lump of anything piled up at the bottom of the loaf. Alright. Alright, let's open that up. It's just finished cooking. Smells absolutely delightful, but it didn't rise anywhere near as much as the first loaf of bread I made in here. Oh no. Gently twist and remove. Now I gotta let this cool. As it's starting to cool though, I have to say it looks delightful, it smells delightful. Really looking forward to diving into this. Kind of wish I still had some of that garlic butter. But that's life. So those little black spots would undoubtedly be bits of cooked onion. Little kneading piece actually came out this time. Stayed in the first loaf I made. Need to flip that over and let it cool, but oh man, oh man, oh man. Oh, that looks fabulous. I'm going to get Shocks to do some camera work while we cut into this. Let's find out what we're dealing with. I have to say that looks pretty fabulous. Alright, need some butter and we'll check this out. While I was going to butter this up real good, the real test is, you know, how does it taste on its own? Can I taste the onion? Can I taste the bacon? So, here we go. Alright, so all three of us have tried it and it worked out pretty well. Personally, I'm thinking maybe dried onions next time around, maybe more of them. But that's just me. Maybe some garlic in here would be good too. So the first attack here on JT versus Breadmaker, it all worked out pretty well. A bacon onion loaf does seem to work, although it's not going to rise quite as much as a regular loaf will. Yeah, alright, I'm going to call this a do again. Try and remember it. Or post it so you know I've got it to refer to in the future. Alright, thank you for joining me everybody, and have yourselves a fantastic evening. I am going to eat some bread. Tonight's word, alright. Brought to you by the letter alright. You're still recording, aren't you?
Alright.
Alright.
Well, you want that money shot of eating buttered bread, right?
Money shot.
Mmm.